Hello, wonderful teachers. Thank you for joining me today. This session is designed to uplift and empower you as you continue your important work in shaping young minds. I know teaching comes with its challenges, but it also brings immense rewards, and sometimes we all need a reminder of just how impactful we truly are. Throughout this session, you'll hear 100 positive affirmations crafted specifically for educators like you. Listen to this daily to start your day feeling inspired, confident, and ready to make a difference. Let these affirmations remind you of the power you hold and the incredible influence you have on your students. Thank you for everything you do, and enjoy. I am proud to be an educator. I inspire my students to reach for the stars. I foster a love of learning in all my students. I teach with patience and dedication. My students trust me as their guide and mentor. I see the potential in every child I teach. I am dedicated to making my classroom a positive space. I celebrate each small success along the way. I handle classroom challenges with a calm and steady mind. I am proud of my contributions as a teacher. I inspire confidence and curiosity in my students. I am valued for my knowledge and experience as a teacher. I am dedicated to the growth and well-being of my students. I am a positive influence in my students' lives. I make learning fun and engaging for my students. I create an environment where all students feel heard and valued. I celebrate the unique talents of each student. I foster collaboration and teamwork in my classroom. I believe in the power of education to change lives. I model the behavior I want to see in my students. I am constantly learning and growing as an educator. I am patient with myself and my students. I encourage my students to pursue their passions. I guide my students to think independently and critically. I am proud of the positive energy I bring to my classroom. I help my students develop the skills they need for the future. I am confident in my ability to handle any classroom situation. I inspire my students to love learning every day. I am open to new teaching methods and strategies. I help my students see the value in their education. I guide my students toward lifelong learning. I create a nurturing environment where all students can succeed. I celebrate the growth of every student, no matter how small. I bring positivity and enthusiasm to each day of teaching. I am a teacher who makes a difference in the world. I see the beauty in each child's potential. I help my students build resilience and perseverance. I foster a love of discovery and exploration in my classroom. I teach with a heart full of compassion. I am proud of the role I play in my students' lives. I empower my students to believe in their abilities. I create a learning space filled with encouragement and respect. I inspire my students to be confident and curious learners. I handle classroom challenges with patience and understanding. I teach with passion and purpose every day. I encourage a growth mindset in all of my students. I celebrate the successes of every student in my classroom. I create opportunities for my students to shine. I am grateful for the opportunity to touch lives through teaching. I am proud to be shaping the minds of the future. I am making a positive difference in my students' lives. My work as a teacher is meaningful and impactful. I inspire my students to love learning. I am patient and compassionate with my students. I am a guiding light for my students' success. I believe in my ability to help every student reach their potential. I am confident in my teaching skills. My classroom is a safe space for learning and growth. I create engaging lessons that motivate my students. I am calm and composed, even in challenging situations. I am proud of the work I do as a teacher. I encourage creativity and curiosity in my students. I foster a positive and inclusive classroom environment. I have the power to inspire greatness in my students. My students look up to me and appreciate my guidance. I am a role model for kindness and respect. I empower my students to be the best versions of themselves. I am constantly growing and evolving as an educator. I am proud of the effort I put into each lesson. I nurture my students' confidence and self-esteem. My dedication to teaching is transforming lives. I bring out the best in my students. I am creative in my approach to teaching. I am a source of encouragement and support for my students. I embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. I have the ability to reach every student in my classroom. My students value my knowledge and wisdom. I am grateful for the opportunity to teach and inspire. My classroom is filled with positivity and enthusiasm. I believe in the potential of every student. I guide my students toward a bright future. I am patient and understanding with all my students. I handle difficult situations with grace and wisdom. My passion for teaching shines through in every lesson. I am helping shape the future through my work as a teacher. I provide a supportive environment where students can thrive. My work is making a lasting impact on my students' lives. I am constantly improving my teaching methods. I encourage my students to think critically and creatively. I am proud of the relationships I build with my students. I am dedicated to the success of every child in my classroom. I inspire my students to believe in themselves. I am resilient and adaptable as a teacher. My students are grateful for the care and effort I put into teaching. I embrace diversity and celebrate each student's uniqueness. I teach with love and kindness. I encourage my students to embrace their individuality. I help my students see their own strengths. I lead with compassion and understanding. I find joy in every moment of teaching.